This is Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com, and today I'll be sharing with you some alternate project ideas I came up with using the contents of the January 2016 Paper Pumpkin Kit from Stampin' Up! Titled Cute Conversations. In this kit you get enough supplies to make 15 treat pouches, or a fun banner with 30 hearts, or a combination of both. You can follow the directions given in these paper pumpkin kits to create fabulous, fun projects and cards, or you can go beyond and change up the kit contents to create something completely outside the paper pumpkin box, as I'll be showing you in my video today. Stampin' Up! Includes everything that you'll need in these paper pumpkin kits. Besides the stamps and the ink that you can continue to use in future projects, you'll also get pre-cut decorative papers, embellishments, special adhesives, and full step-by-step directions with photos, and a link to a how-to video to help you assemble the projects as shown. Lots of product for only $19.95 per month, and even as low as $17.95 per month if you purchase 12 months worth at once, and that includes the shipping. These kits are very affordable. Plus, I love the surprise. You never know what's coming. It's like getting a birthday gift in my mailbox each month. Currently, we are in one of our most fabulous times of the Stampin' Up! Year, Celebration. This would be a great time to purchase that 12 months at once. You can find information on the prepaids on the back of our annual catalog or towards the back of our occasions catalog. Not only will you save $24, that's $2 per kit, and earn $21.50 in free additional merchandise of your choice, but you'll get to pick out 4 awesome gifts from our Celebration catalog. And if 12 months is too much at once, try the 3-month prepaid package, which is on sale during Celebration. Just $55, saving you $1.62 per kit through March 31st. Plus, you'll get to choose a gift from this Celebration catalog. It's a great time to try it out. Current month-to-month subscribers can purchase and use prepaids too, so everybody can save and get Celebration gifts. There's really no excuse not to get signed up. Besides being super affordable, they're compact, so you don't need a craft room to house them. And they give you 30 minutes of creative therapy. They make perfect gifts. They're great for any age, any gender, and if you don't like the project inside, you can find lots of other ideas on the internet that will inspire you, I promise. Plus, if you subscribe with me as your demonstrator, I'll send you extra ideas that are exclusive to my subscribers only. If you start a subscription and decide it's not for you, you can cancel it anytime. There's no commitment. Not a subscriber yet? You'll want to be after checking out what can be created with these very affordable kits. I'm excited to share, so let's get started. Keep in mind, most of the extra tools that I use in this video can be purchased from me in my online store, and they are listed below in my video description and linked to my online store. This was the month that my subscribers got a bonus random gift in the mail, and it came with a note that on the back side you could still use. This is the Watermelon Wonder cardstock. I also slipped in some Whisper White cardstock and some thick Whisper White cardstock, just a strip of it so they could see the difference. Some shimmery white cardstock, so there's a bit of shimmer that happens in that when you hold it up to the light. And then I have a sampler of some of the papers that come in the Color Me Irresistible Designer Series paper. This is paper that has kind of a clear embossed image on the top. So that's kind of fun. And plus it comes in some colors that are in our kit. I also put in a sample of the Blushing Bride glimmer paper, which is new in the Occasions catalog, or our spring catalog. And this twine, which is one of the 2 colors in the combo pack in the Occasions catalog. This is the mint and black twine. And then a couple doilies. And I put in a half a tea lace paper doily and a half of a metallic silver doily. Some people got this one instead because I ran out, sorry about that. And then I also put in just a heart that was punched out with one of our punches. So what I'm going to show you next is my 2-page layout, my traditional scrapbook page that I do with each kit. And the title, I think I'll start with that first. The title is going to be Sweet Summer. So what I need to do right now is stamp out the word summer. And it's a little bit of a challenge. Oop, I've already got it off there. It's a little bit of a challenge because the word summer is not on one stamp altogether. I'm going to use my basic black archival ink again, and I'm going to look down onto the pad and just get a corner of it to catch that M. And we'll stamp that down. And I only had the M inked up, so nothing else stamped onto there. Now the next one that I'm going to do is the letter R. So I'm going to clean off my stamp. You'll want to clean it off really good. In fact, I used rubbing alcohol and then I wiped it off with some water so that the rubbing alcohol wouldn't do any damage to the stamps. These are very porous stamps, photopolymer are, and that's why they stain so easily. You can just ink it up in a yellow color and boom, you have a yellow tint to your photopolymer stamps. So we're going to take and ink up just a portion of the B, and that will give us the look of the letter R, or part of the look. So a little tip, unless you want to cut all your letters apart, but I took the stamp and I bent it around my block so that I was just focused on the B and the E section, and that way I could ink up a portion of the B. And I just carefully inked it so that nothing else got ink on it except for that section. It looks like the letter P, a little bit might get inked up from, you know, below that section there. And then when I stamped it down, I got this. So then what you'll do is you'll freehand the rest, and you could use any black marker. If you have our basic black Stampin' Write marker, you could use that. This marker comes from our set of journaling pens that you can get with the Project Life products. And I'm just emphasizing the P part, and then I'm going to freehand a straight but slightly angled to the right stick part there, and there we have our letter R. And you can overdo it, so just when it's good enough, leave it. All right, and then we have our title. So we have Sweet Summer. Okay. All right, the next part of the page that I want to show you quickly is well, basically it's the hilarious part, or the humor, because I do have a little bit of a sense of humor. We're gonna go ahead and score or fold our heart in half. So I'm pulling out the paper trimmer, which is perfect for doing this. You could use the Simply Scored tool as well, or a bone folder, or you could just fold it in half. But there, now we have a nice crease there. And we're going to fold it, and we're going to start somewhat towards the top, probably right around in this area, and we're going to aim for right where that the dark band begins. So we're going to start about here, and we're going to go slightly at a curve. Now if you open this up, you have the top of a swimsuit. And we do have some sequin trim that comes in our box. I'll show you this one here. This is one of the, oops, got caught up there. There's one of the bathing suit tops that I did. And then here is another one. So I added some silver sequin trim, which we do have in our catalog. So we're on our online store, so you could purchase that separately, or you could just add the red sequin trim, but I sort of wanted two different colors on there. And then to get the bottom, or the bathing suit bottoms, you're just going to trim off right here on the bottom of the heart, following the lines like that. And if you don't want to crease, you can freehand the whole entire top of the bathing suit. You could do that if you'd like, which is what I basically did with these two, so there's no little crease going down the middle, but clothes can be folded, so I think that that's okay too if you have a little crease going down. So there we have our bathing suits. And then the products that we're going to use from the gift that I passed out to my subscribers will be the Color Me Irresistible sampler paper. And we're going to trim that down into little tiny banners that look like this. So all you do is cut off a strip and then cut at an angle to get those little tiny banners. Then you can get a bunch of banners out of all of these. And then we're also going to use the doily, the paper doily, and the shimmery white cardstock. With the shimmery white cardstock, we're going to take a long scissors and we're going to cut strips that come to a point. So you start on the bottom corner and you're just going to cut up at an angle so that your strip is about 1/4 of an inch wide at the top and it comes to a point. And then we want to do the opposite. So we want to cut another piece that looks similar to that. So what you're going to do is you're going to start at the 1/4 inch and you're going to cut right towards where the cardstock ends there. And now you've got 2 strips that are similar in size. You can do that again. And what we're doing is we're making a bunch of rays for the sun. We're going to make a sunshine on this page because if you got bathing suits, you got to have the sun. Then we'll take this piece and we'll cut it, I don't know, not in half. Sort of that, you know, you got 2 different sizes there. It doesn't really matter, it's freehand. And we're going to do that same thing again. And on this last piece, you're just going to cut diagonally, corner to corner. Now you've got these size rays. You'll do the same thing with this piece. And then the little trick for putting adhesive on the back of something like this is to go opposite, back and forth, back and forth. So we've got these pieces here right next to each other. And they're flush right next to each other like that. And if you put them right next to each other and you hold it really still, you can get some adhesive right down the middle, and that'll help to hold it a little bit together. You can get some at the end. And then, because it's kind of held together in place, you can position your fingers again so that you can do the third part or the end. And see, it just kind of picks up, oops, it picks up in a row like that. Then you can take these strips and just pull them apart like that and tack them down onto your page. Okay, so you're gonna have about 12 sun rays, so 4 times 3 is 12, and you kind of have to space that out in your head as you're doing it, or not push them all the way down when you're putting the sun rays onto the sun. Now I'm going to shove these aside because I've already got mine done, so you can see. And the doily is the part that makes the actual sun. There we go. And then the rays. And what I did is I put it close enough where on my 2-page layout, the rays can cross over onto the other layout. Kind of ties them together. The colors that I'm using for my background paper come from that In Color 12 by 12 pack of cardstock that I mentioned earlier. It's the 2015 through 2017 In Color pack, and I'm using the mint and the watermelon. So I've zoomed out a bit so you can see most of the page layout. Just to give you a quick glance of what I'm going to do next. So I laid out everything where I want it to be. Next I'm going to tie the ends of these twine pieces for the clothesline. I'm just going to tie them in an overhand knot and glue them down. I'm also going to take the backs of these pieces. So I've attached some of the banners here, but I'm going to take the back here right at the top and I'm going to put a strip of that straight adhesive that comes in the kit, and that's going to help to attach the piece to the twine and keep the twine straight. I'm also going to put adhesive behind that and of course tack it down to the page. So the page attached to the page and the twine is going to help hold the twine in place. I'm going to do that with all these pieces here. The clothespins, of course, are going to get attached to the actual twine. And if you're one that doesn't like a lot of bulk in your pages, because these clothespins will cause a lot of bulk, you can actually take your clothespins and take them apart. You just have to twist them at an angle and you can get them apart. And if you like that metallic look, you could use like a metallic pen or pencil or something and draw in there so that it looks like it has that silver line going across there. But this looks just as good, I think. having a little clothespin like that, and it's half the thickness. So, and you can get 2 out of 1, hey! So that's one little tip for you. Or some of you like to put your 12 by 12 pages on display on like the wall or something. So this would be just fine in one of those shadow box type displays. So, and then the banners at the top, I'm going to attach them and make the title look as if it's also on a line of a clothesline. So, I'll be right back. It's a putsy page. Basically, it's a lot of glue dotting and adhesive and holding things in place. It was just better if I did it off camera. So we've already done this, you know, we set that on there and adhered these. I showed you how to do that, but the knots that I have at the end here, I just did an overhand knot and then stuck a glue dot under there. And then I stuck like a little tiny rolled up glue dot underneath the ends of the twines here on these parts. And once those were secure, then I was able to attach these straight pieces that don't have any clips, although you could put clothespins on all of those as well. I just thought it was going to be too many. And all the black areas that you see, those would be areas where you can attach photos. So you could attach them so that you have a thin black outline all the way around, sort of like a photo mat. Here's the opposite page. And these banners I folded over just like it tells you in the directions of the kit. You just fold them over the twine, and so that's why they're a little bit shorter. And this one is just a full banner because the word sweet went over the score line on it. And I tucked in another photo mat underneath that. Yeah, basically it's just a lot of putsy putting togetherness. Let me zoom out so that you can see my messy area. Oh, it's not too messy where you see it. And then you can see sort of the 2-page spread. Let's see if I can zoom out even more. Okay, so there you have it. It's a summer page with bikinis, swimsuits, and lots of fun and glitz from the sequin trim. I hope you liked those 2 pages. For this next project, we're going to make a card, and we're going to use our basic black cardstock that has been cut in half and then folded in half. So I've got an 8.5 by 5.5 sheet that's been scored at the 4 1/4 mark. We're also going to use 2 hearts from the kit. Actually 3 hearts, sorry about that. We're going to use 2 of these and 1 of those. So this guy here is going to become the shadow for that piece. And we're also going to use another one on the inside of the card. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to stamp the word sweet, and you'll put that on your heart, and then you're just going to ink up the word you. And because these stamps are see-through, you can easily ink up just the U and stamp that down. But you want to make sure the rest of your stamp is completely clean, or you can get a little bit of residual ink on them. After you've done that, then you're going to use this banner from the kit. This is for our gray one. And I've also got some fun paper, again, that I passed out to my subscribers. So they have some of this Color Me Irresistible paper, and this is in our mint color. So we're gonna cut that down into a strip that is 3/4 of an inch wide, and cut a little notch at the bottom to make a banner. And after we've done that, we're going to attach those 2 together onto the heart. And I recommend folding this one over so it's a little bit shorter, and then this one can be your longer banner, like that. So you should end up with something like this. We can attach that heart to the base and now add that to our card front. And because these hearts are super huge, you're not going to get the whole thing onto your card. So you might as well just accept the fact that you're only going to have a part of the heart. And you can flip it over, and we can trim off the excess. And hey, if you can find something to do with that small amount of paper, do it. I'm just going to throw it in the garbage. And then we're going to adhere this one to the inside. And because we have those nice light lines, you can write very neatly on the inside of your card. Okay, and the last step is just to take some of this black and mint twine that we got in the combo pack. I gave this to my subscribers. We're going to take some of that, Now, if you didn't have that, you can use the twine in your kit, but I really think that the black is super striking on this card. And we're going to separate out the mint color from the white on one of these pieces and tie that around the middle. And then we'll just take and add a glue dot to the top of our card and press that on like that. And there's our fun, easy, super quick, sweet you card. You could give that any time of year. Let's take a look at the fun projects that we created with this month's kit. We have the very fun and funny 12 by 12 layout with the bathing suits. We also have some Valentine boxes that my kiddos get to take with them to school to collect treats with. And of course the teacher version or the more adult version. That inspired the other 12 by 12 page that we made. And then of course we like to scrapbook in Project Life as well. So here we have a sweet page for some baby photos, or you could of course change up the words and make it look like Christmas. And that inspired this card. This card is a nice little baby card with the little mouse, and we made a couple of other cards during the video. And don't forget that you can also make these great treat pouches and or the banner from the kit. Thank you for watching. It builds creativity to think outside the box. Be sure to go to my YouTube channel so that you can subscribe and catch more paper pumpkin videos that I've shared using past kits and more that I'll share with future kits. Also, be sure to visit my blog at stampyourartout.com so you can view close-up photos of all these projects and see photos of other paper pumpkin kit ideas. If you're watching my video on YouTube, look for links in my description below. Oh yes, and to see some extra exclusive project ideas, get your Paper Pumpkin subscription started with me as your demonstrator. I hope you all enjoyed this video tutorial. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye bye.